Hello, it's Bill, the knee pain guru. Today we're going to talk about how to exercise for knee pain relief. And this is a little bit of a misunderstanding, misconception in terms of exercise. And we're going to go over that in just a little bit. If you have questions, please enter those in the comments section over on the side, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay of this. I use those questions to develop topics on future videos. So please ask your questions or give comments over on the side, good or bad, because usually if it's a bad comment, there's a misunderstanding of what I'm sharing. So we make distinctions and nuances to figure out that path for you out of pain. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, and then turn on notifications as well, because I do these videos twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays at 9:55 a.m. Eastern time, and we cover different topics based on the comments and the questions that you put over on the side. Okay, we're going to talk about first, in order to get to an understanding of how to exercise for knee pain relief, we have to look at some components beforehand. It isn't like we can go blindly into exercising and think the knee pain's going to go away, because there are, and these are the two hurdles, the pain is not the same from day to day, right? You have some days that the pain is worse, some days that the pain is better or not so bad. And then you also have to look at, is your exercise routine causing the pain to get worse? So we have two different hurdles to get over. One is the pain is not the same from day to day. The other is your exercise routine may be causing the pain. So your knee's okay. You're like, well, the doctors and the physical therapists are saying use it or lose it. So I go do something to use it and it makes the knee pain worse. So you're kind of in this hamster wheel thing. So let's break these down in order to develop your strategy and how to exercise to get yourself out of pain. So on the first point, the first hurdle, you must use a daily workout routine that adapts to how your knee feels. This is an important concept to wrap your head around. It's not feasible for you to ever get out of pain and think you're going to do the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, or you've been doing this ever since you were in high school, and you're going to get yourself out of pain. Just strengthening the legs alone will not get the knee out of pain. This is an important concept. I work with professional athletes, NFL football players that can squat 300-400 pounds and do multiple sets, and they still have pain. So it's not a function of the strength in the leg, because you could have a strong leg in a lot of pain. You could have a weak leg in a lot of pain. There's something else going on that is causing the pain. So we need to have an exercise routine that adapts and adjusts to what's going on in your knee. Now, here's the tricky part. Here's an interesting point, is not only your exercise routine need to be able to adapt and adjust to how your knee feels day to day, you need to be mentally able to do that as well. Now, what am I talking about? Mentally able to, it's like you're not going to beat yourself up because you can't do as much today as you did yesterday. This is an important point. This is a mindset piece that gets people stuck in this hamster, stuck in a loop, the hamster wheel. It's like, oh, well, I did, 15 reps yesterday and now I can only do 7 reps today. I'm losing it. Things are getting worse and my knee will never get better. And what ends up happening is they get in this psychological stuck point that they're constantly pushing themselves more and then beating themselves up if they can't achieve the unrealistic goals that they set for their knee or their body or their workout routine previously. And what this does is it's a huge hurdle. What ends up happening is it's not allowing your workout routine to adapt and adjust to where you're at today, how your knee is feeling today, because your body changes from day to day. You're more stressed out today than you were yesterday. You didn't eat as well yesterday than you did the day before. I mean, there are so many factors like water and nutrition and stress levels, financial pressures, what's going on in the world today. All of it has an effect on the stress your body feels, and it trickles down to how your knee is going to show up each and every day. So that is the first hurdle. The pain is not going to be the same from day to day. We have to adjust accordingly, both the routine as well as mentally. Then the second hurdle to overcome is your exercise routine may be causing your pain. Think about this. How many times have you gone to the gym, your knee wasn't doing so bad, or you had that kind of little voice in your head that's like, I wonder if my knee's going to feel worse after I get workout. Or you go to the physical therapist. You're already cringing before you even go to the physical therapist that it's going to hurt worse afterwards. So the routine may be making your knee pain worse, which may mean you may need to lay off that routine. That may not be the routine for your knee. There's more to life than leg extensions, leg curls, leg raises, calf raises. There's a lot more to the human body. There's a lot of nuance to it. And we have to get our head around this point that the conventional way of working out to strengthen the legs in the hopes that the knee pain is going away just doesn't work anymore. We are much more complex. We're much more educated today than we were a month ago, 3 months ago, 3 years ago, a decade ago. So you may need to lay off the workout routine for a period of time. However, that doesn't mean you don't do anything. We just need to tweak and adjust and wrap our brain around the understanding of how we approach knee pain in a different way, which means you may need to let your knee rest. And letting the knee rest doesn't mean you don't do a thing. There's a gap between doing rice therapy, sitting on the couch, not doing a thing, and exercising in the old routine that isn't working anymore. There's this, it's like the Grand Canyon between sitting on your butt and not doing squat and going to the gym or going to physical therapy and putting your knee back into pain. And this is where we have to focus. We have to focus on understanding how we can approach our body in a different way that begins to work with how to create comfort in the knee, in that gap between sitting on your butt, exercising, and causing more pain. So you can see how there are these distinctions and nuances we have to make, both in our approach, both in the workout routine or how we're going to address what's going on in the knee, as well as the mental component of how we approach this. And if we can't hear this, we can't see this, we can't understand it, the body feeling it the pain that you're feeling is forcing you to look somewhere else. Realize that the pain your knee feels is like the check engine light coming on the dashboard of your car saying, it's not working. What you're doing isn't working. We need another approach. We need another way. So those are the two hurdles on how to overcome how to exercise for knee pain relief. And we can't start this new approach until we have the mindset open that what we're currently doing isn't working. Because what ends up happening is if you don't hear it, you don't wrap your head around it, you go back and you do the stuff that you've been doing that has caused you in pain. So you'd be here watching some guy on the internet talk about how to relieve knee pain. So we gotta open our ears, open our mind in a way to hear new information. It's key, very important. So at this point, you're like, okay, Bill, great. Now what do we do? Head over to my website. Take my 7-day knee pain reduction challenge. It trains you for 7 days on how to get the pressure off of the nerve in the knee. There's the option to train you for 7 days. If you get it, you feel the shift and the change in your knee, you get some relief, the pain moves or changes in some way, you're understanding that we're doing something different, looking for something different, and getting a different result. And at that point, you can jump into one of my other products and programs. Well, you have to get the mindset in a place to be open, to exercise or move or function in a different way. Okay. If you got questions, leave those over on the side. Please ask those. If you, let's see, make sure you like the video, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you get notified of future videos that I'm doing. A big part of this is asking questions, interacting. If you think your knee pain is going to go away because you're just sitting there, you're taking in information, hate to break the news to you, it's not going to happen. So ask the questions over on the side. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up this video. There's lots of training for you over at my website, thekneepainguru.com. It'll help you look at the distinctions and nuances of getting the pressure off of the nerves in the knee that are causing the pain. What exercises do you recommend for knee discomfort, especially behind the knee with the muscles? Sandy, this is so funny. Like, this is part of, and Sandy, I'm going to pick on you for a second. There's this place where we're still trying to look at what we already know. What you already know is a reference point of strictly exercises. And in order to get relief in the knee, exercising a knee that's in pain will just make a stronger, painful knee. Is this making sense? Like, Sandy, let me know if you're hearing this. Because if you have a car gets in an accident, boom, the frames gets crooked. Essentially, what you're asking is, like, if I drive the car more, a crooked car more, like I don't get the frame straightened out and I drive that car more, somehow the frame is going to straighten out. It's not the best analogy, but it's a good analogy to work with. And if you have a painful knee and you continue to exercise a painful knee more, what ends up happening is you create a stronger, more painful knee. It's like driving the car that the frame is bent more, driving it faster. It doesn't work that way. We have to change. In order for using a car example again, we have to take it to the body shop, get the body realigned, and then the tires realigned. We may need new tires. In taking it to the body, we have to begin to get the pressure off of the nerves to get the knee comfortable before we even go to exercise to strengthen the leg. Are you going to make more headway? Are you going to make more movement forward with exercising a comfortable knee or exercising a painful knee? Strengthening a comfortable knee or strengthening a painful knee? Do you think you move forward faster? Like, this is a legit question. We got 10 people on the line right now. And if this doesn't make sense on some level, if it sounds like Bill is like nuts, I need to know why. Because from a common sense perspective, who wants to exercise with a painful knee thinking that it's going to get out of pain? That's the definition of insanity. If you exercise a painful knee and the pain gets worse, You're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Like I'm like waiting for somebody, doctor, physical therapist, massage therapist, some sort of professional with lots of letters after their name to tell me that doesn't make sense on a physiological, biological level of who we are as humans. Like it doesn't make sense to exercise and push the knee that already hurts. Okay, you're correct about soothing, comforting the knee. You proceed to working the knee out again. What exercise, if any, besides anything would help? Okay, head over to my website. Here, I'll put the link right here. It's called the 7-Day Knee Pain Reduction Challenge. And the idea is with it, I'm going to put the link right here in the comment section. And what that is a link to my website that you do a short survey at the beginning so you get an idea, which knee hurts, what's your diagnosis, goes through the regimen there. But there's a series of 7 emails that basically teaches you one stretch. And it's not even a stretch. I refer to it as a pain pattern interrupt. But for all intents and purposes, for those that are hearing my message for the first time, we'll call it a stretch. And it works with the intrinsic movement of the joint. Intrinsic means the tiny little movements. And this is what impinges on the nerves that are the width of an eyelash. Nerves that are being squeezed, that are sending a signal to your brain that you have pain. That way you're going to move, that it's going to hurt, it's going to grab. Or they're achy and sore and tight. And by showing you how to get the pressure off of those tiny little intrinsic movements that are impinging the nerves, the body gets relief. And it switches, like physiologically, it switches from a fight or flight state, tense state. When you're stressed, you're in a fight or flight state, and it moves it to a rested and relaxed state. Now, what's going to happen on the other side of that? We don't know. Your pain level could go up. Your pain level could go down. Your pain can move. Your pain can get more diffuse. There's a lot of things that can happen as we start to relax the tension in your nervous system. We have to be aware of that. We have to understand that. But the key is, instead of fighting it, instead of like pushing a rock up the hill, thinking by exercising more somehow any pain will magically disappear, what we're doing is we're lining ourselves up with your body's capacity to heal, with the reflexes in your nervous system. The same reflexes, you go to a doctor and they tap your knee with a hammer and your leg jumps. You can't control it. Here's the cool part. Instead of that being a voluntary or an involuntary action that we don't believe we have any control over, what we can do is understand those reflexes in the way that we now empower ourselves and make that involuntary tap of the knee with the rubber mallet at the doctor's office now something you can consciously and actively control and engage to relieve the tension in your nervous system. How cool is that? And we all have that ability. It isn't like, somebody is more special than the other in terms of, we all have nervous systems. We all have this electrical system that is hardwired into who we are as humans. We just don't understand how to use it. Most of us don't understand how to use it. Athletes, professional Olympic level athletes, have a really fine-tuned understanding of their nervous system, yet they still get stuck in that pain tension loop that they get stuck in pain. They still have many of the same issues. And here's a key. Just by ignoring the pain doesn't make it go away. It just ups the ante. It increases your body's in wearing tolerance. Like you have tolerance for pain. Oh, I can handle pain. Oh, it's worse. It was worse yesterday. Doesn't serve you at all. You don't get like a badge by how much pain you can deal with, you can tolerate. That's eventually your body wears down. Eventually you can't handle it anymore. And eventually you succumb to the pain. The arthritis builds up, the joint keeps wearing, you get bone on bone, and then you're talking to your doctor that you're a perfect candidate for a knee replacement when you're old enough. And they want to do that because the knee joint, the replacement joint, after they saw the bones off in your leg and replace it with plastic and metal, those joints are only rated for 15, maybe 20 years. So they're hoping that you can tolerate the pain until you're old enough to do that barbaric operation, and then you'll die before the knee replacement wears out. That's the reality. That's the medical model. It works really well. They make a lot of money. Not faulting them at all. They got a great model that works. And if you want to go down that path, hey, I wish you the best. However, there's a ton of people that reach out to me after a knee replacement surgery that are still suffering with scar tissue and pain and range of motion, and they're limping and they can't sleep, you know, like the laundry list. The issue doesn't go away once you have the knee replacement surgery. The issue just shifts differently. The body has to compensate some way, somehow, to have that invasive procedure on your knee. It's not a magic pill. Okay, that's some questions here from Kyla. I don't have much pain in my knee, but range of motion issues. What can I do to help get more range of motion? Kyla, there's that link right above your comment. It says thekneepainguru.com. Go take my 7-day knee pain reduction challenge. That begins to educate you, teach you, show you, demonstrate to you how to get the pressure off of the nerves in the knee. Now, here is a point that is very key, what Kyla brings up. I don't have pain, but I have range of motion issues, or I have scar tissue issues, or my knee isn't in pain, it aches, or my knee's just stiff, or my knee's tight. Those are all expressions of the nervous system. We say pain because most people relate with pain on some level. But it doesn't mean your knee expresses itself that way. Whatever it feels like, pain, tension, tightness, stiffness, achy, burning, shooting, swollen, range of motion, whatever it is, that is an expression. That is what your nervous system is, the signal that it's giving you that something is not right. Just like the check engine light comes on in your car. That's the blanket example of what's going on with the car. But you take it to the mechanic, you plug it in, and the mechanic gets a reading, a specific code. You could take it to AutoZone, or you could take it to Napa, or whatever company, that a mechanic that has those readouts, and they're all different readouts, giving you a different reason for the check engine light going on. Is this making sense? So I'd encourage you not to get stuck in the mindset that just because my knee's not in pain, that getting the pressure off of the nerves wouldn't serve you. If you're having range of motion issues, that means the knee is tight. Well, why is the knee tight? Because the nervous system is telling the knee to tense up to protect itself. And when it tenses up to protect itself, it decreases the space in the joint, reducing the range of motion. It's like a door that hasn't been hung correctly and you can't close it. That's what happens when we have range of motion issues that affect both the knee as well as the hips and the lower back. You can't get full range of motion out of the knee unless you look at the hips and lower back as well. You just can't do it. So, Kyla, does that answer your question? If anyone else has questions, please ask them over in the comments section. If you are watching the replay, ask questions as well, because I look and answer, respond to all of these comments in some way, shape, or form, and I use those on future videos. I do these videos twice a week. on Mondays and Thursdays at 9:55 a.m. Eastern Time. Give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the Knee Pain Guru channel, as well as turn on notifications so you're made aware of future videos that I'll be doing. Head over to the website. I get a lot of questions, like people listen to the video and they'll be like, now what do I do? What do I do? Go take the 7-day challenge. It begins to introduce you to this different approach. There's this 21 years that I've been doing it. I dislocated my left knee in December of 98. I had reconstructive surgery on the ligament in my left knee in June of 1999. And this is not something that like just happened overnight. This has been a lot of using myself as a guinea pig to figure out how to, what's going to work. Because on the other side of the surgery, I was disillusioned that the doctors and the PTs were going to have all the answers. They have some answers in key areas that were part of my journey, but it was not all of it. And this is what I developed the program. Okay. Do you cover the hips and lower back in the 7-day knee challenge? Nancy, no. I do that in my coaching programs, though. I have one program that is called a Quit Your Quack. And it's a you have a private Facebook group you get lifetime access to ask me questions. We meet twice a week in that private Facebook group. I also have a membership site that you get 4 months complimentary access to that has several hundred videos that I've created over the past 10 years of doing this online, where we work on the knees, we get relief in the knees, and many people find out that they have issues with their hamstrings and quads, which is not the knees. Shins and calves, which is not the knees. Their ankles and feet, their hips and lower back. All of it is not the knees. So people show up with the knee screaming the loudest, but as the knee quiets down, you begin to feel what's going on in other areas of your body. And then you're just kind of leaving a lot on the table. Well, the knee feels better, but man, I can't get out of bed because my back is so stiff. So we work in all of those areas. Okay, Nancy, does that help? The 7-day challenge, Nancy, think of the 7-day challenge as like you go into the grocery store, you have the cheese platter. Not the cheese platter, the sample of cheese. You grab one of the toothpicks, you try the cheese. Do you like it? It's a new cheese you haven't tried before. So you taste it. You like it? Great. You can buy a package of it, or if you really like it, you get the entire wheel. So the 7-day challenge is like the little sample of cheese. The comfort zone, which is a more expanded version of the 7-day challenge, focuses on the knee. You can do this on your home, in your own home. And the Quit Your Quack program is the expanded version where you get my support twice a week and you work with the entire body. So, does that helpful? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, I was told the fat pad in my right knee is inflamed. Would surgery be the best way to fix the problem? Ask better questions. I'm trying to be a nicer, more pleasant version of Bill. Okay. Awesome, Nancy. You ask better questions, you get better answers. Now, the diagnosis is that the fat pad is inflamed. If we look at the fat pad being inflamed, there's something going on in the knee that's causing the fat pad to be inflamed. A better question would be, how do I get the fat pad? How do I reduce the inflammation in my fat pad? Does that make sense? We get into that. We're kind of indoctrinated into this mentality with doctors of feeling disempowered. Doctors are just professionals that we could use their advice through the form of a diagnosis to make a better educated decision for ourselves. Think about this. If it's inflamed, the fat pad's inflamed, it's irritated somehow. And irritation normally happens as a result of rubbing on it. Some sort of rubbing or maybe an impact or something like that causes the fat pad to be inflamed. If the pain wasn't there, if your knee was fine and you didn't have any pain, would you care that the fat pad was inflamed? I ask people that come to me with bone on bone, would you care if you had a bone on bone diagnosis if you didn't have any pain? 99 out of 100 people would say no. They're more concerned with the pain, the stiffness, the discomfort, the achiness in the knee. And if they didn't have that, they would be living their life. So the diagnosis is valuable in the sense that it lets us know that something is broken or torn. In that case, the Western medical model is great to get that support from. However, if nothing is broken or torn and we're just dealing with pain, then we need to look at nerve irritation and getting the pressure off of the nerves. And you'll learn how to get the pressure off of the nerves by heading to my website, taking the 7-day knee pain reduction challenge, and begin to get introduced to my approach so you can start getting relief. Like today, it's that fast. It fires at the speed of the reflexes. The reflexes fire at 286 miles per hour, and the body can heal pretty quickly. We just need to remove the blocks that are preventing it from doing so. Okay. I have my Quit Your Quack program at 1/2 that I'm going to coach people and give them the specific videos to do to get the relief in their knee. So I'm going to go do that. If you would like to be, it's probably too late to make it into today's call because I got less than a minute now to jump off of here and jump onto that call. However, if you want to make Monday's call, which is at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, go to the Knee Pain Guru and go into the products section. There's a products link. And then look for Quit Your Quack. Quit Your Quack. Okay, I'm going to scoot. I thank you, everybody, for asking questions. It was great. For those that are watching the replay, please ask them in the comments section. I will respond to those. Thank you for being here. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future videos so you become aware of future videos. Thank you very much, and I will see you on Monday's topic. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Bye-bye.